Go. All right, everyone. Welcome back to From the Stands MMA. You got the local Lebbo and the Jitsu Jew here, and we're being joined by UFC veteran and fan favorite Sam Alvey here, who's kind enough to join us on the podcast. Smiling Sam. So, firstly, just want to ask you, aside from fighting, how is Sam Alvey the person doing today?
I'm doing great. Had a good day, good workout this morning. Got to go do some bank stuff. I'm buying a house in Tennessee, so we had to take care of some of that today. And yeah, life's been good.
That's what we
Awesome,
like to hear.
Sam, I have a question, just like with COVID and everything, and how has it been, with your family and dealing, with that, obviously being training out of California, how's it been adjusting to that, and how have you guys dealt with it?
It has not affected us in any way. We saw from the beginning that it wasn't going to be that big of an issue for athletic fellas, so our gym never closed. Pretty much everything stayed the same. Even my kid, we got her put into private school, so she's still in school every day. And we've just been having, I don't know, as easy a time as anyone could hope to.
Yeah, that's what we like to hear. Easy times, good training, good health, good family. That's what we like to hear for everyone. So, look, Sam, obviously, you're a fan favorite because of your great personality, your fighting style, and you're always in the fans' minds due to your activity, which we love. So do you find that fighting regularly helps keep your mind and your body prepared for the octagon, or would you prefer to have a little bit of time off between fights?
I just love fighting. Anytime you can get me in the ring, please do. I mean, I just love it. I don't know that it helps my body or is mind or any of that, but I just like doing it. So I'm going to keep doing it as much as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it, in terms of fighting, what is it, with the training environment at Team Quest and that is so beneficial to you? Is it the coaches, training partners, obviously, with Dan Henderson as well with at the athletic center? How has that been, for your development and obviously across your career?
Hendo's great to have in the gym because he's the guy that can just always come and beat you up. He doesn't need to do 5 rounds anymore. So he's good for a solid most of a round. But for most of a round, he's going to beat you. And it is the most inspirational thing, knowing that I'm in the prime and the awesome guy and still in the UFC and this and that, and he just comes smack me around whenever he wants to.
Yeah, the cheeky old vet using some of those tricks. That's always a great thing to see. So, look, obviously, going back down to middleweight for your next fight, is the biggest change going from light heavyweight to middleweight dietary? Is it more focus on cardio intensive sessions for you? What helps you get down to that weight?
I'm just going to prepare to cut more weight at the end. I'm going to keep everything as close to the same as I can. I'm going to keep my diet going as strong as I can. And then I'll just, mentally psych myself up for a really shitty cut at the end. And that's just what it's going to be. I haven't been to 185 in about, I think it was 3 years yesterday. Was the last time I was at 185. And so, I've gotten bigger, I've gotten stronger, and now I'm going to get smaller and weaker, I guess.
Yeah.
What's like, obviously with the 2 different weight classes, what's, do you have a preferred weight division, obviously between middleweight and light heavyweight?
No, I mean, shoot, my last 5 fights at light heavyweight haven't gone so swimmingly, so maybe I'll say middleweight. But I mean, half my losses are because judges don't know how to do their job, and the other half is because of Mark Goddard, the world's greatest referee.
The world's greatest referee, exactly.
And so I'm going back down solely because I can't. They say don't ever let the fights go to the judges, but they also say that judges are competent, and I don't think they are. I think every one of them is terrible at their job, and they should all be fired. Just clean slate, wipe the board. So I think I lost a couple decisions because I was the smaller guy. Yeah. I think the judges are so simple that the other guy's bigger, the other guy must have won.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go back down to middleweight. I'm going to be a bigger middleweight and maybe hopefully finish a fight, but if not, maybe get the judges back on my side.
Yeah, and that's such a good point that you've raised about judging, and it's something that we've complained about on our podcast so many times because, I feel like so many judges would see someone in full guard and just immediately assume that the person on top is winning when it's like, no, that's a 50-50 position. you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's not, doesn't really dictate who's winning the fight. But so, you know, that's a great point that you've raised. So, you know, but for you, when you look at light heavyweight and middleweight, what division's more exciting for you at the moment in terms of new prospects, fun fights for you, general excitement?
You know, I'm heading back down to middleweight, and I'm pretty excited about it. I think there's a lot of good matchups there. Uh, I think there could be a lot of fun to be had. But I also think middleweight is the far stronger division. I think light heavyweight is pretty weak. I mean, there's a lot of talent and all that, but there's not a lot of names. There's a lot of guys that have lost a couple here and there. There's no big winning streaks. Where the middleweights, there's a lot of studs. There's a lot of guys that could pretty easily compete with any of the light heavyweights if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Sam, what, you know, obviously with COVID and the restrictions being put in place with fans and everything, what do you think about the current state, you know, of the product of the UFC? Because between Alex and I, we think it's been amazing. You know, we've had the quality of fights in the last year since, you know, the lockdown and restrictions been put in place have been amazing. What do you think of the current state of the UFC? And also, how does it feel fighting with, you know, obviously you fought on Fight Island. So how does it feel fighting without fans? You know, do you have more of an adrenaline dump, you know, without the fans? Or is it just, you know, you're at that point of your career where you're so experienced that, you know, things like that don't affect you?
I'm probably more in that camp with or without. I prefer the fans because at the end of the day, I wouldn't have a job if it wasn't for the fans. So I like performing for them, really trying to put on a show for a live audience. But I don't think having fans or not having fans really affects my performance all that much. At the end of the day, I'm going out there. I'm just going to have a good time, whether there's, you know, 100,000 people watching or nobody watching. I just love what I do. And as far as how strong the UFC is right now, I mean, it was I was the first fight post-COVID. So I single-handedly restarted the world's economy. And
Congratulations, man.
Oh, well, yeah, no, thank you. And the UFC was the first sport. They led the way. To this day, they are leading the way in how sports are supposed to be handled, how as bad as COVID is and all that, it doesn't have to be the end of the world. And the UFC is leading that. I think great fights are just a product of a great promotion.
Yeah, definitely. So let's talk about your next fight. So obviously your opponent, Zach Cummings, you know, dangerous fighter. He's got 5 knockouts, 12 submissions. And I feel like a lot of people are looking at this like, well, he's the black belt, you're the brown belt. But, you know, I don't really see it that way. So do you see some positions on the ground where, being a brown belt yourself, where you can definitely take advantage?
Oh, excuse me. I am by far the better wrestler. If I want it down, I'll take it down. If I want to make it a jiu-jitsu match, I'm probably not going to make a jiu-jitsu match.
Yeah. So we're not going to see an Imanari roll from Sam Alvey?
Oh, yeah, you're going to see me diving at those ankles. Like every true MMA fan knows, if you're under somebody, you're probably going to be okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's going to be up to me where to dictate it. He's not going to take me down, and I will pretty easily take him down. And I mean, I roll with Olympians pretty regularly. I roll with black belts, double black, triple blood. Rafael Lovato is the head of our school. Well, our school is under Lovato. I see him a bunch of times a year. Joe Daddy Stevenson is the head of our school. I work with Checkmate. Jiu-jitsu is as much as I love jiu-jitsu, I like punching people more, which is the only reason I don't use jiu-jitsu more often.
Yeah.
But jiu-jitsu is hard. Punching people is easy. You just hit them once, they fall over. Jiu-jitsu, you got to set stuff up and get a takedown and defend. Yeah, I don't like that. So, no, I can take him down, ground and pound him pretty easily, and I think that's what's going to happen. I think he's going to feel the fight go wherever I want it to go.
Sam, I did see on your Instagram the other day that you did the 24-hour fast. And this is a question personally because I've done it myself and I found great benefits from it. And, it definitely, I think it's the benefits for me were amazing anyway. But how did they go? How did you feel doing a 24-hour fast? And does it affect your performance at all? You know, do you train during the day? And how do you feel sort of after a 24-hour fast?
Yeah, so that was my first 24-hour fast. The first hour that I stopped eating, so I ate breakfast, then I went and had a hard workout. And then after that, I did 24 hours, and at the end of it, I did another hard workout. And I felt fine for it. I was a little hungry, a little cranky, but it wasn't bad. My wife might say otherwise because she was stuck around me, but it wasn't all that hard. I might do another one here in a week or two. I had a real hard workout the following day, so that was I performed well in sparring the next day. Everything went pretty well.
Awesome. That's good.
That's what we like to hear. So obviously, you fought in Australia a few times throughout your career. So, what's one of your favorite things about coming down under and having a scrap down here? And do you ever see yourself coming back over for a fight in Australia if the world opens up again miraculously in the next year or two?
I would love to fight over there, or I have loved fighting over there. I don't know if I'm ever going to do it again, simply because your taxes are friggin' insane.
Oh yeah.
I mean, oh my good. The first time I fought there, it was early in my UFC career. I wasn't making that much. My last fight, I was making all right, and they sure took their fair share of it. So I might avoid Australia because of the taxes.
Yeah.
But I love the fans. The fans were just wonderful. The arenas were beautiful. The cities were just amazing. I really enjoyed every time I got into fight in Australia.
That's great.
That's awesome. What is there a victory in your long career that sort of stands out for you at this point? That was your most memorable?
I'd have to say Nate Marquardt. He was my coach on The Ultimate Fighter, and he was the king of pancrase. He's fought for the title in the UFC, I think, twice. He was just one of the nicest, most Christian coaches I've ever had, and I got to fight him, and it was truly an honor getting to step in the ring with him.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's great to hear that. So, how many years do you see yourself, continuing to fight? And what are your plans post-fighting? Is there a chance we'll see Smiling Sam make an appearance in the Royal Rumble?
Oh, man. It's the only thing that could get me out of MMA is if the WWE were to call. If they were to call, I'd be done with fighting. So, yeah, I'm a wrestler now. That would be my dream job. But until that day happens, I plan on fighting. I think I've got at least another decade in me. I've still got most of my knees in place. I don't have any super terrible injuries that really prohibit me from training hard, and I still love every second of it. And so that I'm looking forward to having continuing to have a very long, successful career.
That's awesome, man. With the Royal Rumble, that's how obviously Alex and I became friends, was through our love of WWE and professional wrestling. So is there an who's your favorite old school wrestler and who's your favorite current wrestler if you're still watching?
It's hard for me to say old school because it makes me feel old, but
for us it's old school.
The People's Champ is the greatest wrestler of all times. The Rock, he's just fantastic. He was so entertaining in the ring, on the microphone. He just worked it for me. As far as who nowadays, well, shoot, I've got to go with Edge.
Yeah.
He's back in there, so I'm saying he's nowadays wrestler.
And I remember seeing him come back. I just felt like a little kid when that, when the buzzer hit and you just hear Edge's theme music. And I was at home screaming at the TV. All my friends are looking at me like, what are you doing? I'm like, you don't understand. And I'm just screaming. It was such a good time.
It was so much. And then when Christian came out halfway through it, oh my God, I was almost tearing up.
I know. It was so beautiful. So, well then, how did you feel when Edge won the Royal Rumble this year? Was it like, almost stepping back in time for you and just seeing, when you think about how he came back from all the neck surgeries and then to just see him win and wrestle again? I mean, I felt like a little kid.
Oh, it was so cool. And I believe he's only the second person in history to be the first guy in the Rumble and then the last man out.
Yeah.
And it was cool to see him take Randy Orton out, and I knew, everyone knew Orton was coming back after the injury. But, it was so much fun watching him handle it. And it's my favorite wrestling event of the year. I don't watch as religiously as I used to.
Yeah.
But the Royal Rumble, I always try and make a point to see him.
Yeah. It's always great seeing the fan favorites come back.
Yeah.
Obviously being a fan of professional wrestling, that, makes me wonder, like, as a fan, who's your favorite? Do you have a favorite fighter that you always sort of want to tune in to see, and watch?
Well, I gotta say Dan Henderson, or it'll hurt me. So Dan Henderson is my favorite. There are a lot of guys I like tuning into. Of course, there's Khabib, even though he wasn't a tremendously entertaining fighter because you knew it was going to happen. You just wanted to see it happen. You just wanted to see him just demolish the competition. Yeah, and he never disappointed.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Khabib fights, as you said, you know what's going to happen, but you just want to see the domination. Like, you just see taking these top 10 lightweights, like straight up killers, and Edson Barboza, Iaquinta, Dustin Poirier, and you just see this like level of destruction that you almost don't see anywhere else in the UFC. It was mind blowing to watch some of his performances. So obviously we've got the big middleweight coming up. So I got to ask, are you the type of fighter after the fight, after the weight cut, to pig out for a few days, or are you back in the gym?
Oh, hell yeah. I got 1 week of trying to make myself, sick eating so much.
Yes.
Just every cereal I can eat, every food I can eat, just every fast food, I'm shoving it down my gullet. And then at the end of the week, I'll be so sick of it, I won't want it again until after my next fight.
That's what we like to hear.
Is there a favorite meal that you have, like, or is it just whatever and whenever?
Whatever and whenever. I mean, cereal is always wonderful. I can only have cereal after a fight. Otherwise, I mean, I don't have a bowl. I have a box. So cereal is something I have after a fight. Pizza, I love pizza. That's my post weigh-in meal. I love food. I'm such a foodie.
Yeah.
I'm good on my barbecue. I smoke everything. I love eating.
That's it.
I pray weight cut, man.
So obviously we got a great heavyweight main event this weekend, and we were just wondering what your thoughts were on the fight between Jairzinho and Gane.
Yeah, I'm taking Rosenstruck. They're both talented, but how do I say Gane?
I think it's Gane. I think it's Gane.
Gane was losing the stand-up to Dos Santos. And then he won. He found a way to do it. But by end of the second minute, I thought, wow, Gane's going to get knocked out. And then he pulled out and came through. Rosenstruck, outside of his loss to Nagano, who everyone's going to lose to. He dug deep. He was losing to Alistair, and then came back and found a way to get Mark Goddard to stop the fighter. I think it was Mark Goddard that time.
Again,
yeah, I'm pretty sure. The greatest ref in the UFC. So he won't stop fighting, and I think he's going to get Gane. I think he's going to get him caught.
Obviously, a question here, we're pretty interested in asking, what is your prediction for the Zach Cummings fight? Do you think it's going to be a war? Do you think you'll be able to get the finish? In your mind, what do you think is going to be the most likely outcome?
I'm going to take him down at will, and I will submit him in the third. I think I will beat him up enough in the first two. He's gonna look for the easy out, and that's where the submission comes from.
Beautiful. That's what we like to hear.
I'll put money on that one.
Yeah, we'll put money on that one. We'll bet the house. So obviously, what a final message from you to the Smile and Sam fans around the world that are going to tune in for this fight.
Yeah, I love talking to you guys. You hit me up on my social media. TikTok, I love TikTok. Hit me up on any of it. Talk to me, chat with me. I love my fans. I wouldn't have a job if it wasn't for you guys, and so I try and respond to everyone.
And we're very appreciative, man. Like, this is our first interview, so for us, it's a big thing.
You guys are doing a wonderful job.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate that.
Thank you, man. It's an honor. So.
But, well, we might let you go because we know you're busy. We know you're at home with the family. And we want to let you get back to that and enjoy that. But we just want to say thank you again for joining us. And, yeah, everyone, hopefully tune in for this interview, and more importantly, tune in for his fight against Zach Cummings, guys. This is going to be a great fight. And yeah, thank you again to Smiling Sam for joining us.
Hey, you're very welcome. Thank you guys for having me on.
It's all good. Best
Thanks,
of luck
man.
with training camp.
Hey, thank you guys.